all, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Prasad, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go along that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they weren't talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got that.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Tomorrow, Taylor. You got script. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
the
an erratic detective is Michael Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, girl, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Then you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Good evening. This is another call-in edition, another Friday evening edition of the Freddie Kissoon Show. Wherever you are, based in different time zones, a pleasant evening to you, a pleasant night to you. Good morning, good afternoon. This is the call-in edition. The two lines are on the screen. The landline is 231-2982, and that's my cell phone. If you call it, you will be heard loud and clear. We don't have a co-host, so we can have a WhatsApp number, but we're doing all right. So we have an hour and a half. The telephones are working. My cell phone is working. Let's hear what you have to say. There is never, since I was growing up, there is never a dull political moment in Guyana. Guyana is one of the few countries that you cannot be bored with its politics. I lived in Canada. I studied in Canada for 5 years, and I can tell you, its politics was very boring. I visited Barbados quite often because my siblings lived there, and its politics at the time, of course, I was visiting there, very boring. It's never a boring political moment in Guyana. You can just discuss endless possibilities based on the ongoing, recurring, or new political situations in Guyana. So, call in and let's hear what you have to say. Apart from politics, Guyana has a potpourri of cultures: European, Hindu, Muslim, Christian culture, African culture, Indian culture, Amerindian. So we are quite a diverse nation. So we can also talk about culture and so many other things. The advertisement for this program said that you can call in on the Trump tariffs, the bust up between the AFC and the PNC about a coalition for the 2025 election, and so many other things. Don't forget, we're coming down to an election, and that lady, Dr. Kissoon, has... Let's take this call. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Kissoon.
Yeah.
You know what I want to explain to you tonight? Why, if the businessmen pay Sherod taxes, they won't have no problem. But if you don't pay your taxes, then you got the problem. You can't make your money and say you're paying taxes and you want to go to the back door and you
Yeah, I know tax evasion. Yeah, I know.
Tax evasion. So tell these present one who coming up now. I telling them these present contractors and these businessmen pay their taxes, or else they're going to get themselves in problem, and they would blame the government. But the government have nothing to do with it. Here and abroad. All right, that's my thing.
Okay, sir. Thanks. Well, I didn't get to do my normal introduction. Somebody called, and the call quite valid. You have to pay your taxes. But this is a country where tax evasion is enormous. And I don't know if any party present, past, in the future got the wherewithal or the capacity or the societal support to collect the billions that are due, for example. Good evening.
Hey, Freddie, good evening. This is Akash. How are you doing?
Hi, Akash. Hi, man.
Great. And Freddie, look, I've been out for Ramadan, so for an entire month I wasn't doing much. But man, I went in Georgetown today after Masjid. I drove along a bit, and Freddie, the garbage situation and
Oh my God.
littering, it has gone to another level. I'm appalled to see what is happening around that. This is something that we don't need any government or any city, because this is what we can do ourselves, man. I think us as citizens, we can do the best to not litter. I have some videos, Freddie. I'm sorry I couldn't send it because someone sent the video, but they can see it on my page, of some people just walking by North Road and showing this big plastic bag, and they.
Well, listen.
From the video, these are
You know the operator's number. If you send it to him now, I'd ask him to put it on the screen.
I'm sending it right now to Robert. It's a very short clip, but Mr. Kissoon, you know how this thing has been bothering me. And I want to call on everybody, all the citizens of this country to let us do our part. Let us do our part in eradicating this culture of littering in this country. Look, we have so many people are coming into this country. Foreigners when I go downtown, there's so many foreigners, and everywhere you look is garbage. How are we presenting ourselves, man, Freddie?
This garbage thing is not, I don't know.
Listen, Robert, if you can hear me, I sent it to your WhatsApp. And this is after I put out some video. Freddie, I went to North Road today, and I did a video with at North Road and Orange Walk by the Border Green there. And there is a thick film, almost a barrier on the surface of the North Road Canal, that water there. You know what it is? It's food grease. When people cook, there are no people who have grease traps and so on anymore, apparently. So this grease runs off and it goes into this canal and creates a barrier. This thing is a thick barrier. Freddie, if you pass there, you can't even breathe properly.
Well, I'm glad you brought it to our attention. If the operator got it, he'll probably load it onto this screen. And don't know what happened there, but looked like we lost contact with Akash. But I didn't get to do my normal introduction, but call in. The introduction can wait. Your calls are important. So Akash said he sent the thing. I don't know if I could get the attention of our operator. But okay, while our operator may be trying to put the thing up what Akash has sent us, let's continue to hear your calls. Those are the landline. That is my cell phone. So let me see if I could get you with my introductory talk, and based on that, you can call. Last week, if you didn't see this program, please go and look at it later. It is so, that last week program is so relevant that it needs to be discussed. Last week, the Secretary of State, Mark Rubio, Secretary of State of the United States, that's the term they're using. Good evening.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Kissoon.
Yeah?
I'm calling from Fireface. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, I'm calling concerning they have some small children at the Venus selling. I noticed them begging in the afternoon, so I said maybe it was a after school something. But now I notice it every morning they just be out there begging for money when I think they should be in school. And then I noticed another girl, she used to be selling broom and sometimes she would be selling chips, and now she started begging. And these children just look so like somebody's just forcing them to go and beg. It's so real terrible.
It's about how many of them?
It's 3 of them, 2 boys and a girl.
And there's a police station a couple of yards away.
Right. And the one of them is he looked like he's about 6 years old. The other
6?
one was 9. The girl, she was 11.
You know the vice president, the former vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris, when she was the attorney general for California, she got a law passed to arrest mothers who don't send their children to school. And a lot of mothers were arrested under that law. I don't believe in it because some of these mothers may be so poor that they don't have the resources to send their children to school. But one thing I know, the present Minister of Education, she is very, very serious about that. And I hope I hope she's listening or somebody from the Ministry of Education can tell her about that. I know the minister and she will work on that immediately. In fact, I will call her.
All right then, thank you.
Okay. Bye. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Freddie.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all, but you gotta lower your TV or lower your phone. We're hearing what we said in the background in the last call.
Okay. Yes, I'm calling concerning the new bridge on the Weary Embankment where they have built.
At Strathspey?
Yes, at College Inn, not far from Charleston.
What happened to the bridge?
The bridge is like it's halfway done, and it's still canting on the side to go down. You know, like when you're driving with your vehicle, you got to keep driving on this one side here. It's not firm, then it's not a firm bridge.
You can't be serious after all the criticisms of the road. One of the big men in the world came here and criticized the road. You thought we'll be on our P's and Q's? Are you serious?
Yes, it's like a cast bridge there. It's like a temporary something they build there.
Oh yes, I think they're doing that bridge, and yes, it's a temporary something. But you're saying the temporary something is not up to scratch. Yes, I mean if you're building a temporary thing, it got to be safe.
You should do the bypass, and do something properly because next morning you're gonna see that bridge is going down again. That is waste of money,
Yeah.
Going down because when a truck them driving on that bridge there, the weight of the truck and they're driving so speed on that bridge, it will go down again,
But that is common sense because those trucks are destroying good, sturdy roads, much less a temporary bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they
that's
should
good.
do bypass for all the bridges then,
But I'm glad you've brought this to attention. I hope somehow it gets onto Bishop Edghill and the other minister.
Like the
Do
bridges
that in
on
there.
the public road, the concrete, the sturdy bridges. Those bridges they should have done on the Weary Embankment.
Okay. You're talking about those bridges that were built a few years ago?
Yes.
By the German company Davida? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are very, very sturdy bridges. But
Sturdy, yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Dear, and
Thank you very much. I don't know if our operator is hearing me, but can he put on those things that that Akash sent? If Akash is listening, the operator said there is a problem putting on the videos. So Akash, if you're listening, the operator said he can't put on videos, to put on still photographs. I don't know what's the problem. Maybe you can talk to him about that. So we won't be able to get people throwing garbage on the streets because there's a technical issue involved here. So let's hear your calls, and let me see if I could get in my introductory remarks about the program last week. Senator, I keep calling this man Senator. I don't know why. That's because I follow American politics, and he was a senator for Florida, but he's now the foreign minister of the United States. Secretary of State Mark Rubio came here, and he had some disparaging remarks to make about the Chinese engineering of roads in Guyana. Of course, the road that he criticized was not made by the Chinese. I think if you're listening to this program or you're looking at this program and you live at any part of the world, just go to YouTube and you will see the #1 postmodern country in the world. These people engineering feats, engineering achievements, and engineering skills are beyond belief in China. These people have built trains that link parts of China separated by thousands of miles, and you get there in a few minutes. The Beijing airport makes the John F. Kennedy airport look like a third world airport. And you're telling me the Chinese are not good in engineering? But Mr. Rubio came here with the intention of making sure countries that are friendly to Guyana are weaned away from these countries because US and China have a superpower rivalry. So Mr. Rubio came here, and you have to be naive or daft not to see the anti-Chinese fling that he took. And that's China and the US, which is no concern to small developing countries. They have their superpower rivalry. But Mr. Rubio came here last week, and a week after, the US administration has put 38% tariff on Guyana. So what do you make of that? I'd like to hear your calls that Mr. Rubio trying to badmouth China so we could, move away from China. But if we have 38% tariff slap on us, what we're supposed to do in Guyana, in Jamaica, in Lesotho, in all these countries that Mr. Trump put tariffs on, they're just supposed to fold their hands and die? No, they're not going to do that. They're going to look for alternative countries that could help them to develop. And that is called common sense in living, not common sense in politics, not common sense in international relations, but common sense in living. So we have been slapped with 38% tariff, and our oil has been exempted. So all the exports we send into the US will carry 38% tariff, but not oil. And the United States has made a logical decision there. Oil is what the United States need. So they don't want to make the oil too expensive. So our oil was not given a slap with a 38% tariff. In brutal pragmatism, in brutal reality, you can't blame the Americans for doing what they're doing. Mr. Trump came to power saying there are things that are being done to the United States by other countries that need corrected because it's in the interest of the United States. And he thinks if the United States confront these countries and stop what they're doing to the U.S. will be richer, its economy will be better. I don't see how in practical life, not practical politics, I don't see how in practical life you can disagree with Mr. Trump. Where you could disagree with Mr. Trump and the disagreement will be tsunamic, the disagreement will be mountainous from the developing countries, is when you are telling the world you cannot do this to the United States, this, what the U.S. is doing, it's in the U.S. interest. You cannot abuse us. You cannot have unfair trade in practice with us. Our economy will not allow for this exploitation. We will protect U.S. interests. And from the time he came to power, he said that, and you cannot disagree with that. The man, you may not like the man, you may not like his policies, but he tells you what he's going to do, and he tells you that is in his country's interest. What other countries have to do is to tell Mr. Rubio that came here and to tell Mr. Trump in the most diplomatic way, we have a population to feed, we are a developing country, we have to maximize our trade, our aid, our grants from other countries. Now, Mr. Rubio and Mr. Trump cannot tell you no, because if they tell you no, they'll actually tell you that, well, do what we say. If you die, you die. And no country that I know in the world is going to tell Mr. Trump, okay, sir, we will not have anything to do with China. Okay, so we will shift our trade away from China, from Russia, from BRICS. No country is going to tell Mr. Trump that, because the leader or the government that tells Mr. Trump that will not exist a week after. The population will rise against that leader who tells Mr. Trump, okay, sir, we are not going to accept all these infusion of infrastructural aid from the Chinese. No, it's okay. We're going to tell the Chinese. How can you expect the Jamaicans, the Barbadians, the Guyanese, I would probably CARICOM, I shouldn't say Jamaica, Barbados, Guyanese. How can you expect CARICOM countries? We have one medical school that is owned by the state, and then there's a private medical school. Medicine in every college outside of Guyana is very, very expensive. How can the U.S. government tell CARICOM, you don't have those Cuban doctors, don't have those Cuban brigades here? We think that's a way of Cuba getting money by sending their doctors to sell their doctors' labor cheaply. How could you tell the Caribbean government that if the Cubans send doctors here and we work out a payment, CARICOM countries work out a payment, that is in our interest? Let's take this call. Hello?
Hello. Good night, Mr. Kissoon.
Yeah, good night.
I'm calling in connection with this 50 bus. On Saturday afternoon, I could talk about Saturday afternoon. Then put in 4 and 5 in a seat for go up my Coney. Then picking up charge drop for Micah and then charges 600. And 4 and 5 in a seat. And when you talk, they're using you. I don't know who to complain to. Because if they put out a roadblock and they charge him, then go stop. Then we go overload the bus, because if there is an accident, insurance wouldn't recover nobody.
But I thought the traffic cops,
sir.
I thought the traffic cops are up and down that road, shaking on people all the time.
Nobody doing there. Like, I could say like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 5:30, nobody doing there.
Oh yes, traffic policemen disappear when the sun goes down. I live on a railway embankment, and I could tell you, no motorcycle I see on the railway embankment has a helmet on. And no, I think something strange goes on in Guyana with the traffic cops in the night. You don't see them anymore. You don't see them anymore.
Yeah, but these people drawing money under false pretense say they're working.
Well, okay then.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Hello?
Good night, Mr. Freddie Kissoon.
Yeah, good night.
Right up night.
Yeah, you're on the air. Go on. Hello?
I'm sorry.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Hello?
Yes. Yes. You hear me?
Yes, well, go on.
Yes. Now, it's a 8% tariff. You know why you're doing that? Because our president is supposed to collapse.
I think you want to call back. You're not coming across. Yeah, something's wrong with your phone. We didn't get that call or something's wrong with the phone. It's not flowing freely. So good. I'm still on my introductory talk, which is based on the description for the. Good evening.
Which is based on that.
You have to turn down your volume. I'm here.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
You have to turn on your volume.
Look, what is going on here?
Yes, sir. You have to turn.
Hello?
Yeah, pleasant good evening, Mr. Kissoon.
Good evening.
Well, I know you don't have any panelists tonight, but more importantly, your panelists is basically the populace listening to this program. And basically what I want to say in relations to where the country is and where we are at this juncture of life is that, more could have been done, but at least at this point in time, we have a lot of setbacks because of situation. I don't want to get into that, but the government is doing a great job, and I would say, more importantly, leading up to where we have two, but the fact is that situation has to be taken in context, and we have a beautiful country to nurture. However, the populace has to come together because there's quite a lot that has to go on. And we have more in relations to our neighbor, our country development, and where we should see this country going. People have to be able to understand that this is not race, religion, or creed or culture. It's a country that has to develop and grow. We only acquire oil recently, but the oil profit or the money in relation to the oil, it will fuel into the hands of people. But what we need to do is to ensure that we stay positively and work together in relation to sustain this country. I know we have the Venezuela on our back. We have all the other tariffs, Trump tariffs, 38, but that is not the fact. The 48% is not unrealistic, and that is what Mr. Kissoon should relate to the nation. 48, I don't know if you would have learned based on what has transpired in relation to our gross domestic product. Our gross domestic product and the way the country or other countries operate is based on our exports and imports. And what transpired in this regard with Mr. Trump in relations with the relations when Mr. Trump had indicated in his deliberations or his party or his people who would have consulted him in that regard, because Ghana's oil, Ghana is a big basket of Caribbean, I know, and the fact is that that is not a throughput of in relations to Ghana. And so the Ghanaians should be able to understand that this is not reality. And as Mr. Jagdeo had indicated in his brief couple of days ago, that more work has to be done and more work will be done in relation to this situation. So let it roll, and as he indicated, not to panic. And I'm quite sure, because I did my work too as well, and that is not true. That 38% is not accurate based on what I attest to and have learned on what is the factor or the formula as indicated. So I think, Freddie, Mr. Kissoon, you should educate this population, this country in relations to that, because more people are frightening. People are seeing that, what is that this country is going to go down. People are going to be in jeopardy. Businesses are going to go out of scape and scale. And more importantly, the exporters or people who in the exporting industries are going to be faced at the disadvantages. But I dare those people not go down that road, because we have a good architecture and a good government that will do the best interest for you and this country. I thank you, Mr. Kissoon, for listening to me. I know I've been a little bit very much in terms of what I said, but thank you so much.
Okay,
and
sir.
I hope the listeners had heard what I'm saying. Thank you so much. God bless.
Bye-bye.
And God bless this nation. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Well, you heard that caller. He said the 38% tariff is kind of deceptive. When you factor in a number of, when you put into the equation a number of factors, it will end up much lower than 38%. I don't think that he's right. And the vice president explained it. You have to be familiar with economic terms to understand how those things work. So it's not going to be 38% tariffs on Guyana's exports, but that will unfold as the days go on, and it's for the government, just like how that caller said, it's for the government to go on an intensified PR, public relations bliss, to explain that to people. You have social media now. People have gravitated to social media instead of the mainstream media a long time ago. You have the mainstream media too, and the government has its people that could explain that you shouldn't panic over the 38% tariff. But whatever form the tariffs take, and however it impacts on developing countries, it's most important for the leadership of developing countries to know, and I think they know it, that they have an obligation to diversify their trade, diversify their diplomatic relations. And the bottom line is Mr. Trump is doing what he considers best for the government that he was elected to lead. You could disagree with the policies of a government. I certainly disagree with, I would think, 95% of the policy directions of Mr. Trump, and I'm speaking in a holistic way. His attitude to the government employees, his attitude to diversity, and I don't agree with those things. But I cannot disagree with him saying, I'm running this country in the interest in the United States. It's for other leaders to say, we have a country to run, and we have to run this country in the interest of our population. So you have to get your politics very, very straight. You cannot ask Mr. Trump to be lenient on the Europeans because they're traditional friends. He said that the United States will. Good evening.
Very good evening to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I just got about two things to say. First thing first, I want to commend the Vice President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, why I outlined it like that. It's for the ongoing program that is going on currently right now in our country, where they're providing assistance to persons to go to doctor, to check the health, etc., and by giving them $10,000 at these clinics, and also to get you money to check your eyes and get money to pay for your glasses. So I wanted to commend the government on in that effort and that goodwill that is going on for our people. Another good area too that I want to commend the government to is the ongoing. I know they've had a lot of problems in this area, but it can fix the ongoing road projects all across our country. I commend them that's a very, very good initiative what they're doing. However, not too much circulation, too much around that area. What I wanted to talk about this tariff pertaining to Guyana. We are seeing a new world global unleashed order is on the wide scope of our nation or nation. But I wanted to say something to our people that this is Guyana, and regards to whatever tariff or regards to whatever another country imposed pertaining to their country, and the slogan that goes with it, very much important. The slogan, I want America to be rich again. These are the slogans. Make America rich again. Are we saying that we wanted to make Guyana the opposite? I don't want it to stay too long, but I just wanted to remind Guyanese that we have 83,000 square miles with a number of natural resources, raw materials that our people can utilize. We have the largest forest industry, over 300 and something different species of wood in the forest, one of the largest gold fields in the Western Hemisphere, and I could go on and go on and go on. The truth about this is that we as a people, we are independent and free. And we don't have to say in ourselves that we're under slave mentality. Keep our people down. Our people are liberated. We are educated, and we know what's best for business. What is best for business? If one country wants to make this nation rich again, are we going to make our country poor to make them rich with our raw materials that we have? The greatest resource that we have in our country is our people. And we come together as one, we can make it work. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Good. 231-2982. Please look on your television screen or your screen of your phone and you'll see the numbers there. The cell phone is my personal cell phone number. And that's the landline of the studio. That's the studio number. So call us and let's talk about anything that's on your mind. There's so much going on in Guyana. In the advertisement for this program, we spoke about how do you feel about... Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Freddie.
You have to tune your volume down because we're getting a feedback and I won't be hearing you properly.
Okay, hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. I've been watching this city hall. It's almost 3 years now. The building the city hall, repairing it or something. And until now, every time you pass it, you see it in finishing like a never-ending train.
I read something in which you say it's about to be finished. I went there to pay my rates and tax, and it's gone a far, far away. I looked at it.
Yes, it looks like it's finishing, but I don't know when would be the day due. Indeed.
It looks soon because I wanted to see what it looked like when I went to pay my rates and tax, and I was looking at it because it's one of the world's most beautiful buildings. Yes. It's a architectural gem.
Yes.
And it has gone a far way.
Right. We try to preserve architecture, meaning history and so on. Right. We also want to preserve the life of the pensioners. You know, like respect them and so on. Right. Like for instance, the babies that born, they're getting 100,000. Welcome to the world. What about the pensioners when they going off? They should be getting something like when they meet age 65 or over, they should get something like a $500,000 farewell goodbye. You know, I don't know what you might think about it, but
well, I'm certainly one of the pensioners who need if the government can be generous, I certainly welcome that. As
yes,
you know.
I think they should think about it, right? They mentioned that the babies born is like welcome to the world. Now the pensioners work their whole life and they go in farewell, give them something. As soon as they meet 65, give them 500,000. You know, something like that because I think they could afford it. Seeing that all the magics that are working, getting things done. I mean, the government is trying a lot, right? But still, they got to respect the pensioners more. I didn't think that the pensioners were respected. It's time that I talking about the iron money, right? They got the money now. I think they should do something better for the pensioners, right?
I don't have a problem with from the time this program started and we had the call-ins. I would say if you monitor the call-ins program the past 2 years, 9 months, there seemed to be an obvious predominance of callers that favor better treatment for the pensioners.
Yes.
I would be one of those persons who feel that.
Yeah, and that was on your program twice, and when I talk about it, he favored it also. You know?
Who's that?
Sharon, that was on the.
Oh yeah, I think most people.
Yes,
I think most experienced people who are in politics would support that. I don't have any contacts with the government. I'm not a working person. I'm not part of the government. I don't have any contacts with them. But I would hope they would perhaps pay special attention to.
Dr. Freddie, last time when I called him Mr. Jonathan, you was on the program, and when I was talking about the pensioners should get something, he was saying there is discrimination, but he maybe misinterpreted the point what I was raising. But I didn't hear.
Well, you can't you should have stayed and argued your case. It's not this.
No, but
If you give 100,000 to newborn babies, if you give this, that, you can put that down as discrimination too. That's not the way to argue it. The way to argue it is that a government looks, a government sits, a government stands over the country and looks at the different areas that are vulnerable or that need improvement,
yes,
and they act on that. That can't be discrimination.
You cut me off when was Jonathan you would
So he cut you off? Okay. Well, nobody's cutting you off now.
Yeah. Well, I've already made my point, you know.
Yeah, okay.
I hope the government is hearing that the pensioners should get something, should be treated better. And, you know, like, you don't have to be joining all these lines and so on, like in the past. We hope that they improve on the sharing out of the...
I don't know what is the thinking of the government. I don't have conversations with any government leader, but that one is a strange one for me. I don't know why pension is at $41,000. I mean, if you're going to increase that next year by 5 or by 3, that's 4. Then if the next year you increase that by 3, that's 47. In 6-7 years' time, people, you add that on to people's age. I really don't. I said in this program when it started, when Gildari was co-host, and I keep saying this, that the approach to pensioners is something esoteric. I'm sorry to use that word. Esoteric means difficult to understand, strange, mysterious. Yeah. I don't understand that. I really think pensioners should be given more of what they get to know.
Big money, and you don't have to give them in the next 3-4 years. Something like that, because soon they would pass out, you know.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, just don't give them a 3,000 and a 4,000 and whatever. Give them a lump sum, and you don't have to give them in the next 3-4 years. That's my point.
Okay, sir.
The government is listening.
I hope so.
But believe me, the government is doing a great job, and I support this government.
Well, I support this government too, but don't ever let your support for a government stifle your conscience to speak up about what you think serves humanity. Because in doing that, you help the government to open their eyes. Thanks for coming through. Let me take this call. Bye-bye. Hello? Hello? Yeah? Yeah, good evening, man.
Yes. I'm just echoing what the caller said about the pensioners. It is totally unfair. This part of $1,000 makes no sense. Hello?
Yeah. I'm listening to you. Everybody's listening to you.
Yeah. Now, you see, pensioners have to wait until they're 65 to receive part of $1,000. Fine. Our president, let's say Irfan, leaves the sector. He would be receiving $3 million a month at the age of 50. Right? The former president, Yabdil, he received pension before he's 55. Right? Mr. Green, Hamilton Green, received over $2 million. Now, tell me how special these persons are more than the pensioners. Why is it that they need so much to survive and the pensioner only receive part of $1,000? This is unfair. It's unfair, and I think that pensioners retaliate by not voting. So they should really come up with, they would say it's only $10,000.
Well, if you listen to me, if you've been listening to me the past 2 years, 9 months, I did say there's something I don't understand. I really don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't have access to the government for somebody to explain it to me, but I don't understand it. I certainly think 41,000 could be improved, and I hope it's substantially improved next year.
Look, it's part of $1 billion the president received it before he reached the age of 55 as pension. You know, check it. And when these people tell you you've been working, what you're doing with your money, oh my God, most of these pensioners be working for 40,000 or whatever a month. You know?
I worked at UG for 26 years, and it's an absolute shame what I took home for 26 years and not educated at some unrecognized university. Anyway, Saul, in me you have a converter. I am a supporter of this government. I am a strong fan of the president, but I do believe, people who support the government, they should speak about things that they need the government to do. And that's one of the things.
This is one thing that they are not getting right. And I think that if they don't get it right, because how long we got, man? Huh? We done live 3/4 of our life already or more. Oh, how long more we have, sir?
As I said before, it's something with the government I honestly don't understand. I know if I was the president, I would have increased senior citizens' pension substantially. But I don't have access to them to explain that to me. But maybe one day, there are people in this government that I admire, particularly in Nandlal and the president. And maybe one day, if I see them very soon from now, I'll ask them what's their take on the pension. Anyway, that's it.
Do something. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good evening. Welcome to the program.
Good night to you, Mr. Kissoon.
Yeah, good night. Go on.
The young lady that called concerning the bridge today, last I saw today that there was a news on the say that only light vehicles should go on the bridge, and then I think the minister, will say that they ban heavy duty trucks.
Yeah, I read that in the press today. They ban heavy duty trucks on the railway embankment. But that ban of heavy duty trucks on the railway embankment was instituted 3-4 months ago. I live on the railway embankment and I see those heavy trucks.
I know you do. I'm from East Coast, but I remember office now. But I saw on the social media today that heavy duty for the bridge that's transit there, light vehicle for now. So and then I read too that he says for heavy duty vehicles it's banned for the moment. I know it was banned a long while ago. So maybe she's not aware or she didn't look and see. But I read that today.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Anything else?
No. It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Bye-bye. Good. I didn't get time to talk about the topics I'd like to talk about before the program started, but I did manage to get in one. And so I'll move on to the second one, which is part of the advertisement for this program today. We said, call in and talk about the tariffs. And then I did say, I'd like to hear people's views on what's going on between the AFC and the PNC. They want to collate and have as they did in 2015, APNU plus AFC as one party contesting the elections. But they can't seem to solve one problem: who the presidential candidate must come from. And that's the issue, and I would like to hear your views on if you think it should be from the AFC or the presidential candidate should be from the PNC. Plus, there are other things. There are other things to talk about. As I said before, there is never a dull moment in Guyana. So, Michael Carrington, the former member of parliament for the Alliance for Change and the deputy chairman of the Alliance for Change. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sherod.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Sherod.
All right.
The things about the two opposition. Then they'll have some cabin, man, and some like a real cabin. Then sometimes solve the whole problem. And then man of our own country. I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Nigel Hughes, no. That you don't have a chance, by yourself. If nothing, dying yet to speak, believe me, tell you. The PNC is going to make Isinamu supporters there. But PNC lose a lot of supporters. Plenty. A lot of them come to the PDP. But AFC there, then that's the reason why they're trying them there. I'm not stupid, not in my chart being stupid. But you know what I'm trying to do. So, all the things I'm trying to, if you put it two together, still can't mess up. No matter who. If we will come out victorious, they will come out victorious. If we do a lot of good for this country, a lot of people, they're not 100% accurate or perfect, I would say. Because we have some things where the people don't even know, what the government don't even know. The people who have put those things for the people are the angry. The government doesn't even know. Until when the government goes on outreach to communities, then the government knows exactly what they do. So if people sometimes make people look bad, make government look bad, it's like you tell a child, you show them do wrong, but you know what's going on, then put it in front of your face, but behind your back, and you teach them right thing behind your back, what do wrong, or choose somebody come and tell you. So it's the same thing. I want to say this to people. Our people always against Javier, some people against him, but let me tell you something. Without Javier, we would have never get back Guyana. We would have never, ever get back Guyana without Javier. We should have praised that man and thank him so much. I don't care what people say, what people talk about him. I know there's a lot of ups and downs. You can't please everybody in this world. You can't please everybody. As you show, you have some people might comment, and you want some people to agree with you. That is life. That is what's going on in the world today. So, for me, I don't see AFC make nothing. They make no difference. They know to their heart. They know they don't lose. They don't know they lose the election. They can't go there. They try to all stuff we can't even today to the judge. It's only rule. They know a rule. Since 2020, same thing they do. And bring it back again. House registration. They're trying to ask you. They know they lose a lot of supporters. And what I hope and I pray for is a lot of people going to win them and a lot of people win them outright.
Okay.
That's my comment.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot. Okay. 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 Let me take this call. Okay then. Okay, sir. Bye-bye. Hello? Hello? Yeah? Go on. Hello? Hello? I'm not hearing you. Can you speak up? I can hardly hear you. Look, we got a bad connection. There's a bad connection with that call. Sorry about that. Maybe he could call back or use the landline, but there's something wrong with his phone. So the an hour has gone, so we've got half an hour. Time just flies. So we got half an hour to have a discussion for you to express yourself. In case you missed us, when we first started, the caller talked about the bridge at Strath's Bay, the temporary bridge. A man just called and said he thinks the PPP has done good and they will be re-elected. Two persons called and believe that there should be more for pensioners. They think the 41,000 should be increased. So that's just a few of the calls that I remember. I should remember more. I'm getting old. Of course, I am old. But call in and let's hear your views on anything. As I said before, Guyana is never a dull moment in Guyana. That caller who called just now, there was something wrong with... Good evening.
All right, good evening.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Hello?
Hi, good night. Is this the Freddie Kissoon Show?
Yes, it is. Everybody's listening to you. So
Yes,
don't stop. Go on. Speak.
Yes, my issue is that, do you know in these, I'm living in Region 6, these hospital mortuaries, they are not working. People have to go and take their private money if they have a death at a private place and cut the dead there and then transport it back. There is no postmortem examination done at these hospitals.
The Barbies, the New Amsterdam hospital, the mortuary isn't working?
No, you have to travel. When someone is dead, you have to take that patient till to Bailey. And then Mr. Bridgemohan will go at Bailey and have it done. You have to pay that money and transport that body.
That can't be right, sir. I hope that's just a temporary thing.
My mother.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. I mean, I am going to make a call tomorrow. How long the mortuary?
I lost the money when my mother passed away. Please find out. Thank you very much.
Wait, don't go. How long this has been happening?
Well, I known about it for the last month.
The last month?
Yes, and person's been telling me before that that some people from Kellen has to go and bring their body till to Bailey, and then the guy from town, the go to spot the dead, he's gonna come there, and then you gotta get back, pay your money from there, and bring over the body and police. That's the confusion, Mr. Kissoon.
Yeah, I could understand. I can understand you if I wouldn't like that to happen to my mother or father.
No,
I mean, oh my man, oh my.
Or you could do a little more follow up on it, and
yeah, I've learned so much about my country over these calling. Yes. I've just learned something, and I just hope someone gets onto the government.
Yeah.
I mean,
ridiculous for poor people or from Guyanese in the whole, regardless of what, rich or poor, you have to spend money to get it done on time.
Well, it's a more of a burden on poor people.
Yeah.
Remember, you have to pay for... No, it's more than a burden. I mean, it's bad in general, but it's worse for poor people.
Yes, Mr. Freddie Kissoon, yes. Please see what you could do, sir.
I'm just a lone voice with this calling. Maybe if I was a big one in the government, I could have seen what I could do.
You get people listening, a lot of them just tune into your program.
Yeah, but I hope they act on what they've heard.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. You enjoy your weekend, and my sympathy on your mom.
Okay, Mr. Kissoon,
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, have you heard that last call? The mortuary at the New Amsterdam hospital is not working. So when someone dies there, you have to take that person to a parlor. Then you have to summon the pathologist to come and do the postmortem. But as I said before, I learned a lot of things about my country on these call-in programs. When we first started these call-ins, I was a bit depressed of what was some of the things I've been hearing. I'm still depressed, but it's good to know about these things. How can you have the second major state hospital in the Republic of Guyana and the mortuary isn't working? Former President Donald Ramotard told me that the MRI at the Georgetown Hospital has been out of order for some time now. I know the CEO of the Georgetown Hospital, and good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Freddie. I forgot to say something. I don't know why the government don't think about a refinery for plastic and garbage thing like if that could happen in the country. That would be nice, that would clean up this whole place, Because normally people are talking about garbage and things.
Okay.
I think that is going to be a very good thing because you can't be able to see garbage out about get a plastic bottle, keep it and sell it back. Yeah, people who live on the street can pick up it and sell it. Normal things that are going on in America or different countries. So I think they should really, really think about a refinery for garbage and things, man. Or like plastic bag or all. You see, like food bags and things, all them things them there. I think that should really be nice. Government should see it and get somebody who can come in and do those things. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I was. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. Am I on to the?
Yeah. Go on. Keep making your point.
Yeah.
We're
I
listening.
think you guys should get some government officials on your midweek program like Wednesday.
I tried, sir. Stop right there. I tried. I really tried. So, I don't know what else to do. As somebody very big in the government said, look, if they don't want to come, they don't want to come. I mean,
yeah, that could be, but even if you don't get a higher level, like you be
no.
Get some minister because look at the thing with pension. Pension is the talk.
No, they will come. Those from the hold a sec. Those from the opposition that we invited and haven't come. Those from the government that we invited that haven't come. You know when they're going to come, and you know they're going to.
When they're going to come, they're going to come around August time.
They're going to come, and they're going to come in the numbers.
Yeah.
That is so unfortunate about humans, but they're going to come, and we here, and we will give them a forum. It's unfortunate that they will only come when it's election, but it's not only the government. Many opposition. You should hear off the phone. I will tell you my experience. But anyway, so
I know. The other thing I want to talk about. People talk about the AFC thing. What happened when the AFC coalesced in 2015? They actually were grafted into the PNC. You look at them now. You can't tell the difference who's PNC and who's AFC. We talk about the high level people. Nigel, can you tell Nigel he's an AFC or PNC? He's no PNC. Duncan, PNC. Look at them. Look at the portrait. So they're not only collating, they're grafted into, they become part of. The guy wrote in Animal Farms. When they look, the one who's big and who's human, who's animals and who's human. You look at them, you don't difference who's AFC.
Yeah.
So AFC is dead. They're not dead as in dead, but they're actually lame politically. Go out and reach people because they have no policy, and the church was broke. And PNC is a negotiating from the position of weakness. You're the strong opposition party, you're the premier opposition party. You got no negotiation who's the leader. We're supposed to understand who's the leader.
I think the leader of the PNC has said that. He has said we're the major party and the presidential candidate should come from the major party and I am the presidential candidate. I think he has said that.
Yeah. But the other thing, why is it we're allowing private car to work at tax? And like in front of the station,
private cars. That's an age-old problem.
No, it's not an age-old problem. There's not no excuse because the same police coming out on the East Bank Public Road, going 100 meters north from the station, and stopping vehicle and asking them for the documents, which includes which insurance. When they have private taxi opposite them, so they come out the gate. From the taxi right there, who's private working higher, who they know is not insured to do that type of service, and then asking them for nothing. But they try and ask the people along the road 100 meters way up. Let me see insurance as one of the documents. see, it's the same thing you're doing. You ain't doing nothing. We got a no tolerance in Guyana, and then got no tolerance on the breaking laws. None. I don't know if this government fighting to enforce the laws. Yeah, brother. So
Okay.
I glad to talk to some of the ministers though. I don't want,
Yeah, well, let's hope we get them.
Yeah, I hope you
Let's
guys
hope we
together
get them.
too.
Yeah. If
Okay,
they,
good night. Yeah, man.
good night. Good, our time is going. Please let us hear from you. 231-2982-614-5927. I was cut. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Kissoon. I'd like to follow up on the caller we just called, especially regarding the mortuary situation at New Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Have you ever approached the Minister of Health to come on your program?
I would say about 4 times over the past 2 years, 9 months.
Do you know that the Ministry of Health does not have an MRI in their system?
I know the former president on the Ramatar told me about 2 weeks ago or maybe last week that the MRI of the Joshua Hospital is not working. What I think they do, and now correct me if I'm wrong, what I think they do is that when patients need, sorry, my bad grammar, when patients need an MRI, the government pays for it at Mercy Hospital. But that
there is no MRI in the public system.
There's no MRI, but
No.
the
All MRIs are done at Mercy Hospital. Some
are you sure the President Ramatar told me last week that the MRI, I don't know if, I can't remember, he said the Joshua Hospital or the Ministry of Health. He said the MRI is not working.
There is none. The CT scan machine at the GPHC is not working and has not been working for about a month now. So all CT scans are currently being outsourced to Mercy. That would mean that all patients have to be taken there by the doctors if it's a ward patient, by the nursing staff if it's the A&E services. So do you also know that the mammogram at the GPHC has not been working since last year, September, thereabouts? You know it costs about $28 million for a mammogram machine.
28 million Guyanese?
Guyanese dollars.
Yeah, I think that is affordable.
Good. And so there is no reason why the number one institution in the country should not have a mammogram machine.
So I don't know you. I don't know whether you're saying the right thing or the wrong thing, but if what you're saying is true, that should not happen in Guyana, man. In an oil-rich country. Are you sure?
$100 billion.
What's that?
Do you know that we're building 6 new hospitals and renovating another 6 more to the tune of billions and billions of dollars?
And
we cannot fix the GPHC with an MRI, with the CT scan, with a mammogram, then how are we fixing those hospitals? How are we staffing those hospitals?
I remember about 18 months ago, a panelist, I can't remember who's the panelist, I had brought up that question. But I just know what President Ramatar told me. And I know that the government pays for that at other hospitals. But why is the mammogram and the CT scan, why are they not, if the machine is dead, why can they buy another one?
Well, the GPHC is a semi-autonomous agency, so they have their own monies that they spend and they do their own budgeting and procuring. That is probably the problem. Maybe you can try once more to have Minister of Health on your program, or you should try to have the CEO of GPHC. I think that is more relevant.
Yes, I asked him to come on, and he did agree. And I think at that time the Venezuelan issue was boiling, and so we thought it was relevant to have Venezuelan people. And then he agreed again to come on, and something else. Remember, Guyana is never a boring moment, and we thought it was relevant to have that discussion. But he has agreed, and I will ask him to come. I will ask him. If you
Soon, I would love if you can pass around by the hospital at night in the A&E and see how many nurses are there with regard to how many patients are being seen in the A&E department, and have a true inkling of the situation faced at the A&E department, the accident and emergency. That will give you and the viewers, whenever you share the information, a better appreciation of the real situation there at the Georgetown Hospital. And this is our premier institution. And this is what escapes the public, that sometimes on a shift you have 3-4 nurses to take care of all of the patients in the A&E department at any one given time.
I know the CEO personally. I also know the director of medicine at the Georgetown Hospital. All I can say is, based on my knowledge of knowing them, they are competent people. I don't know where the faults lie.
I'm gonna ask you for, and if you know, one more thing. Have you ever asked? And I know that one of your guests on your show, one who is probably running for the presidency, Mr. Jendra Bissessar, spoke about his experiences trying to get a colonoscopy. This is a simple test whereby you have a camera that is inserted from the bottom. So they have two, the endoscopy and the colonoscopy, from the top and the bottom. You should ask him how long he had to wait and the reason why he had to wait. Simple things as in a 4 steps for your endoscopy. The Georgetown Hospital either has limited or it's none available. And these are things that cost $100 US.
I'm going to have a word. I don't know.
Okay, I can. If you know what you're looking for in the Georgetown Hospital and the issues that you face there, you're going to see that the situation is much more bleak than it is made to appear. One more example I'm going to give you. For patients who are to be prepared for a colonoscopy, they have to drink something called peg leg that allows them to have cleaning out of the intestine. Do you know that a simple packet of peg leg, which costs about $4,000 in the private sector, it is not available for the patients at GPHC and hasn't been for over a month now. Patients are being sent to the Woodlands Hospital or any other private center that may have on their own.
Could you do me a favor, sir? You seem to speak with a wide spectrum of facts. I said seem. I just get the instinct that you're someone familiar with what's going on there. Can you take my email address or call me on my cell after the program? I leave here about 5 minutes past 10, or about 10 minutes past 10. I normally want to get home to my wife. Can you call me after I leave the program? Can you take my email? Type out this information and send it to my email. And I'm telling you, sir, I'm promising you, I will forward the content of your output right now as we speak in to the people I know and the people I can ask to act on it. Can you please take my email address? It is quite simple. You call me Freddie. It's Fred. My last name is Kissoon. It's Fred Kissoon, one word. F-R-E-D, Fred. Everybody in the world can spell Fred. Even a 10-year-old child can spell Fred. Fred is one of the world's most known names. Fred, F-R-E-D, Kissoon, one word, fredkissoon@yahoo.com. Please send me an email with those types of information, and I will work on it.
FredKissoon@yahoo.com.
Yeah, Fred Kissoon, one word. I know you can spell Fred. Every Guyanese can spell Kissoon, Prasad Singh, Jones, Blackmon. So Kissoon is Kissoon.
One more thing before we go, and this is for the PS of the Ministry of Health. Do you know how many?
I know him personally.
Expired?
Yeah. Do you know what?
How many drugs would have expired at the ministry's bond for the past year or two, to the tune of billions of dollars? It's going to come up when it goes to the PAC hearing.
Yeah. As an experienced person in journalism, I know what I'm about to ask you is not axable in journalism, but I'm still going to ask you because nothing ventured, nothing gained. Where you got all this information from? You're going to send me the email.
That people in the system still has information that goes out there, and you might laugh at what you may have heard happened at the Ministry of Health one a couple of weeks ago. But,
what's that?
You'll get the information in your email. Have a good night.
But before you go, that's the bond by the seawall?
No, that's the one up in Diamond.
Oh, okay. I'm waiting for your email because I know Dr. Rambaran, I know the CEO, Robbie Rambaran too, and I can also send the email to the But do you think before you go, do you think President Ali knows about this?
I believe that things are swept under the carpet, and it's made to seem all rosy by those in charge, and so the true recipients of money spent, their complaints are not adequately reaching those in the upper echelons who should be concerned and should have this information.
But send me the email, and I can say this. For the 2 years, 9 months we've been doing these call-in programs, this is one of the most interesting calls that I've received.
I do hope that information reaches, and I know it's going to reach out there right all the way up to the VP, but more so for the Guyanese public to be aware that even though we're spending over $140 billion in health, we cannot fix the system we have now. Imagine
No. I'm a supporter of this government. I don't care what people say with me. I've always spoke my mind. I will vote for the re-election of President Ali. But if what you're saying is factual, those facts have to be erased and erased immediately. In other words, they have to be...
You voted for Mr. Lennox Schumann. Did you hold him accountable for your vote for the last 5 years?
I voted for Mr. Schumann, yes, but Mr. Schumann went in a direction that I philosophically was not against. He supported the government, and as someone who resented what was happening to the government and taking away their right, the PPP's right to be elected, I thought we should have supported the government, yes.
So you think he adequately represented you and those who supported him? That's what you're saying, basically.
I think he went in a direction that I would not have any philosophical objection to.
You're sounding like a politician, Mr. Kissoon.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Hello, good evening. You have to lower your TV or your smartphone. I'm hearing myself speaking into the last caller. Hello? Good evening. We've got you.
Good night, Freddie.
Yeah.
The last caller there is an attack. He attacking the government. He just launched an attack on the government. All these problems developing in Johnson Hospital, only he alone know about this. Only he alone know about all these problems. Good night.
Good night.
Good.
We've got 2 minutes remaining. Yeah, we've got 2 minutes. So I don't know. Time has flown. You sit here, and next thing you know, you look, and the program is almost over. So we've got 2 minutes. If there are no calls in 2 minutes, let me say to that caller who called about the Georgetown Hospital, what I will do. He seemed to know what he's talking about. The other caller said it could be just he wants to attack the government. If he sends me the content of his output, I will know what to do. And I will know whether what he said is fictional or there are some problems of the hospital that need to be corrected. Overall, I think the Georgetown Hospital is doing well. I don't think we should just emotionally knock the Georgetown Hospital. It tries, but let's take this call. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, you're on the air, and everybody's listening to you. So don't stop talking. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. Please forgive me, I'm not too bright, okay? But I was want to raise about 3 or 4 points.
Yeah. Okay. Quickly, because by the time you finish, our time will be up. So let's go quickly.
Okay. One, the 38% they're talking about the tariff.
Yeah.
I think Ghana was exempted on about 3 items, and oil was one.
Gold.
And so on, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, those things have to be said. And I think Dr. Jaglio has said that he will do some negotiations with them to have some lower rates applied. That's one. Two, concerning the PNC-AFC, they're a waste of time. They will never win that election. And thirdly, I think the university should take some shame out of their eyes and bestow you with a doctorate degree.
Number four, quickly. Forget about me.
And the fourth one is that they consider giving you honor of the AA, the Arrow Achievement.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Good. I am going to count 1 to 10. And if there's no call, we got to be just a couple of seconds over time. Let's take one more call. So I'm going to count to 10, and then that's it, as I normally do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our program for this evening has come to an end. We're 1 minute over time. Our operators' rights have to be respected. So that's it. We will see you on Monday. A very interesting guest. You should look at Monday's program. You should. Look, have a nice weekend. As they say, live and let live. We come into this world to help each other. We must help each other. So, have a nice weekend. Keep helping. Let's keep helping each other. Catch you later. Bye-bye.